Now you should be able to hear me, right? Thank you, girls. Thank you for telling me. It wasn't you, it was me. And the funny thing was I was just saying, but you couldn't hear me say it. You know, if there's no sound, let me know, because it means I haven't done something. And sure enough, I hadn't done something. So thank you, thank you. Yay. I am so sorry. So that was me. So what I've got to do is when I do these videos, when I go live, I actually am doing the audio through my phone. Okay, so I've got to make sure I add the phone into the group. So I added the phone into the group, but I forgot to click the button to make the phone live as well as the video. So video was fine. That was no problems, but the phone hadn't clicked over. So that's my fault. I forgot about that. There's so many things to remember. I'm supposed to have a checklist. And there you go. Yeah, here we go again. That's right, Denise. Hey, everyone. My apologies to those who couldn't hear me a moment ago, but we're good now. So that's excellent. I'll have to see if I can edit that bit out when I do my over on YouTube. I've actually worked out I can actually edit videos over on YouTube, but it is a little bit problematic. So hopefully it won't be too bad. But thank you everyone. I hope everyone is well. I can see you all popping on. I'd like to go through everyone's names, but that would take us a while. So I'm just going to say hi everyone tonight. Okay. Has everyone had a great weekend? It's been very soggy here. We had a soggy Saturday followed by a soggy Sunday. Really, really great weather for crafting and doing other things indoors. So I did a bit of I watched some Netflix. I did some crochet on the lounge. I did a bit of paper craft. I ignored the mess in my craft room and didn't do any of cleaning up at all. I did do some bookwork, got some of my tax done, which I put off forever and ever and ever, and then suddenly realized it wasn't as bad as I thought. And why did I put it off so long? It sounds very technical. It isn't really. It's just me remembering to put all the ducks in a row, Glenda. If I can remember to do everything, then there's not a problem. Oh, you're in Victoria, Kim. So are you on holiday down there, or are you riding your bike down there? What are you up to? Okay. It's been a bit of an exciting few days. Since Thursday, our retirement list went live, or it's known as the last chance list. Oh, you're in Western Victoria, Lynn. Oh, that is very warm. It was cool here. It was like 21 degrees or something. Very, very cool for this time of year, I think. Oh, you're there for work? Okay. Well, it's nice. Hopefully you can... A change of scenery is never a bad thing, I don't think. Okay, so the cool thing is the retirement list is out. A few things have already gone. There's a couple of stamp sets that have already gone. A couple of re-inkers have already gone. A few things, but just a handful of products, but everything else is still there at the moment. On day one, I did notice I couldn't order the cinnamon cider refill or the Just Jade refill, but they're not on the discontinued list, which makes me wonder if they're getting in another shipment of those. So if anyone missed out on those, stay tuned in case they come in, because they haven't actually said that they've been discontinued at the moment. So, but the Magenta Madness one has... I'll quickly look for you right now. It's just helpful to actually go through the list of what you can and can't get. So on my discontinued list, Sailing Home stamp set has gone. Hippo Happiness and Snowman Season have gone. The Magenta Madness Classic Ink Refill has gone. And the Misty Moonlight Ink Refill has gone. Those two colours have definitely gone. But the others are not on the list yet. So I'm wondering if there's some more of those maybe coming in, maybe a few last ones. The card display's gone. White chalk marker has gone. The Petal Pink striped ribbon. There's a few extra things on here tonight. The Cat Punch has gone. The blue adhesive back gems. The Everyday Label Punch. And the Parisian Flourish 3D embossing folder. That's it at the moment. They're all the things that have currently sold out. With a couple of exceptions, they are all sale items. Some of them were marked down like 40 and 50%, so they went very quickly. But there's lots still left. So if you haven't checked out the retirement list, do it soon, because as things sell out, they just disappear out of the online store. There's two ways to get your hands on the list. The way that is easiest, I think, to follow and to read is by going onto the online store, clicking on last chance products, and then just scrolling through the availability list. That's the easiest, and you get a visual image for each product, so it makes them easier to see. If you need an actual physical list, contact me and I can send you a PDF of exactly what is on the list. Hey there, Nairi. Hi, Megan. I know there's so much in the new catalogue. I know the in colours are beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. Katrina, you're right. Yeah, I should be cleaning my room, Judy, but then I wouldn't be able to talk to you guys and clean up at the same time, I don't think. Hey there, Jean. Nice to see you. I hope you are okay. I know you had to leave us early on Friday night, and I know you were very tired. So we haven't clicked off daylight saving yet. That might change. That'll change by an hour, change the time that you're watching. So if anyone's watching from overseas, I know the US have already gone on to daylight saving, but we haven't yet come off. So that's going to change it by another hour. So there we go. All right, let me get the camera switched over and let's look at the desk, and then we can get started on some actual crafting. All right, so I've got my annual catalogue here. You can see it's the one with the pink dot, which means this is the one that I'm using, that I've actually gone through and highlighted all the things that are retiring. So anytime you see a pink highlighter thing, that means that that particular item is retiring. It's a little tricky. What I do is I go through the list, the physical list, and then mark everything off in my catalogue, because for me this is the easiest way to know what's here and what's going. But for some things, for example, the Hydrangea Haven stamp set is not being discontinued. That is going into the new catalogue, and that's what's here on this page. But you'll see that I've highlighted, the pink highlighter has highlighted the word bundle, because even though the Hydrangea Haven stamp set is not being retired, the bundle that it is in with the dies, that is being retired. So both the stamps and the dies are going into the new catalogue, but they will no longer be a bundle. So that's a really good thing to know, because if you have your eye on some of these things, you are better to get them before the catalogue, this catalogue ends, which is the 2nd of May, I believe. Let me double check that date. Yep, 2nd of May, and the new catalogue comes out on the 3rd. So this one goes to the 2nd. So if there's a bundle that you're really after, but it's not going to be a bundle in the new catalogue, you're best to get it now, because you're going to save 10% on the items. So things like that are good to know. The other thing is they do have a sale this month that is called Savings Are in Bloom, and it's the mini catalog, the mini Stampin' Emboss machine, the mini, or as I like to call it, the little boss. And then all these other bundles that they've put together that go all fit through the mini boss, these are all 20% off, including the mini boss. Okay. Now, what's important about that is not only is that 20% off the current price, but both the big cut and emboss machine and the mini cut and emboss machine are going to be going up in price in the new catalogue that comes out on the 3rd of May. So if you really want to do well with a good price for those, definitely grab this one. The big one isn't 20% off, but this one is. So it's going to be 20% off the current price, but then it's going to go up even more. So it's actually going to be the price it is currently is going to be even better than 20% once the price increase comes through. And then the big machine is also going up in price. So if you were after any of those sorts of things, if you have any specific things you need to ask about, if something's going up or not, please ask me and I can get that information for you. All right, so we've been looking at some of these over the last few live videos, but tonight I thought I'm going to start with, I actually looked at the dies tonight, because I thought to myself, I've got some dies that I know I haven't even opened. Okay, so well, I've opened them, but I haven't done almost anything with them. I think I've used the stitch triangles. I think I've used them once, maybe twice. And back over here on the previous page, I've got the stitch leaves, and I haven't used those in ages. So I thought they might be fun to use tonight. My first card, I thought I'd do something with those. And here's the stitch leaves stamp set that matches those stitch leaves. And those are being retired as well. So the stitch leaves are being retired, the stitch leaf dies are being retired, and then I thought the stitch rectangles might be fun to go with those. So, sorry, stitch triangles, I should say. I should know my shapes better, shouldn't I? The cool thing about these is that they have a bunch of rectangles, but they've also got other things in them. So, for example, they've got this little banner that is a bunch of little rectangles kind of on a banner. That's really cute. And then you can see there's lots and lots of I keep saying rectangles. What's wrong with me? Triangles. Goodness. Then there's like little cutout triangles here. There's a little banner, a long line of little cutout triangles. So there's a whole bunch of different things you can do with those, and I thought they might be rather fun. If you're a mathematician, you can name whether they're isosceles triangles or whatever they are. I can't even remember the names of all the triangles. Anyone else know? Need to get plates for the mini. I think those are going up too. I need to check. I'll check. Well, you can check actually, Jenny, because you're a demonstrator, so you can check. It's what is it? Under the catalog program in the What's Happening tab of the demonstrator website, all the new catalog information is there. So these are the leaves, and my favorite one is this one. I think that's really, really pretty, that shape. So I'm just going to pull that out. I was going to use the stamp set that matches, but I'm actually just going to cut this out of copper foil because I love the way the stitching looks on the foils. It's just beautiful. And so I've got some copper foil here. They're keeping the copper foil around. They're not getting rid of that. And I rather love it, so I'm very glad about that. I'm a big fan of copper. Particularly, I like copper and black together. Right angle triangles, yeah, equilateral, isosceles, and scalene. Scalene was the one I couldn't remember. Oh boy, that brings back maths and geometry days, doesn't it? Who hasn't had a chance to scratch themselves? Who said that? Jenny. Equilateral, that's right. Oh, so we got all of our triangles sorted out now. I'm sorry I've been missing some comments. You guys talk faster than I can keep up. So you'll just have to excuse me. If there's something that you've asked that I didn't answer, ask again, please. I'm so sorry. All right, so I'm just putting this into the mini. I love the fact that the plates are all numbered. So this is plate number 1. You can see the little 1 down there. And then I'm going to use a base plate. Whoops. I'm going to put my copper piece in here, and I've got my leaf. Now this leaf die, I just love it. This is so pretty. It's a really nice leaf. So it's kind of sad that these are retiring, but hey, all good things must come to an end, and we've had a good run with them. So this was sort of, as I was preparing tonight, I just thought I want to use something I haven't used much or haven't used in a long time. And these definitely meet that criteria. All right. See, a quilter, because quilters would know about rectangles and squares. Well, squares and triangles particularly, right? So, Jenny, did you say you were hit by a car? What happened? Are you okay? Goodness me. Hi, Cheryl. Oh, goodness me. Is the dog okay? Here's our oh gosh. Here's our leaf cut out of the copper. And look how nice it is. So you've got these beautiful edges. It's very, very pretty. Now, it also, you'll notice, the outside piece also has this lovely stitched edge. Can you see that? So both the negative shape and also the positive shape that you cut out, both of them turn out really, really pretty. Now, in our leaves, guys, let me come back to these. You'll notice that we have also got this little guy. Okay, now he can do the stitching on the leaf. So you could use the leaf like it is, just like this, or we can run it through again and add some stitching to it, which of course I'm going to do because that looks really, really nice. So let's put this back through again. So we've got number 1. That's number 1, number 2. And let's position this on here. Just sit it on like that. And then I'm going to put the top plate on. And we're going to run that whole thing through. And because it's foil, I mean, any paper looks lovely, but foil looks particularly gorgeous when you add a stitch design like this. So let's take that off. And Look how beautiful it is. Can you see that? Isn't that lovely? This is a really, really nice die. Actually, and the others have all got like little matching ones as well. So you got this one here matches this one, goes inside that. Then you've got this one that does the stitching for this long thin leaf. This one does like a little heart-shaped leaf. Really, really pretty. And a bit different. Something I think I will miss, because I did use these when they came out, but I haven't used them in a long while. Look, and these are the stitching for these guys. Isn't it nice? So if you haven't looked at this little leaf set before, it really is a lovely set. Yeah, it's very cool, right? All right, so I've got my stitch leaf now, which is just beautiful all by itself. Now, I also thought while I was at it, let's pop this on a triangle. Now, I want to use an equilateral triangle. This one of these, and I think the biggest one is going to be the one I want. I'm deciding whether I want it to go, yeah, definitely the big one. So this should fit through the mini cut and emboss machine as well, but we're about to find out for sure. And I'm going to use a piece of black paper, because like I said, copper and black is always good. It's beautiful. Such a nice look. And let's pop this on here. Yep, they fit through no problems. So let's whack that through. Hang on, I haven't put it through properly. No. Now when it doesn't go through, look at this. The plates are not lined up evenly. All right. The other thing is, if you have a plate that doesn't want to go through, I turn it over and try and put it through the other way, and that will generally work. So let me line these up again. They should work when you line them up properly. See, now the handle is moving, so that is easily going to go through. So if ever you have problems with the handle not turning, go back the other way, turn the plates around and put it through again. It happens particularly if your plates have got a bit of a bow on them, which these ones do. But if you turn it the other way, it's okay. All right, so now I've got a black triangle, and I was thinking this would look rather nice this way on my triangle. Now I've also used from the catalogue that is retiring, let me show it to you. Here we have the Simply Elegant 12 by 12 paper, and it's got lots of copper and black and grey and white and gold, lots of real mix of metallics. It's really, really nice. So I thought, I haven't used that much either, so let me use some of that. And I've got a piece here that's got it's got copper, silver and gold all together. It's really rather pretty. All right, let's glue this into place. And I could use either seal or I could use Tombow. I think I'll go seal. It's just quick and easy. And let's pop this. I've got a piece of black card front here. And then I could have this going this way, but I think it might look nice. I think it would look nice this way. Yeah, with the black underneath. Just something a little different. This is not something probably that you might expect of me, because I very often stick with soft colors, but I love metallics as well. So, you know, if you really, it's very rich, a look like this. So it's kind of something that I think looks really, really nice to put all the different metallics together, and then you add a bit of drama by adding black in as well. All right, let me put this in the center, or as close to the center as I can go. Is that right, or should I put that? I think maybe it needed to be up a little higher, so pardon me while I move it. Trying to be careful here. One thing you will notice about black cardstock is that it's very, very soft, and so therefore it does tear quite easily. I think that's better. Yeah, that's better. Just needed to be a little bit higher. All right, so I'm going to pop that on dimensionals as well. And because I'm using black, I think I will use black dimensionals. I've got black minis. Let me see if I have some black maxis, black big ones. And I know I do. They're in my bag under the table. Now, the thing I like about black dimensionals is that they are almost impossible to see. At the moment, you can see them because we've got the white backs on them, but when I take the white backs off, they kind of disappear. Isn't that cool? Really, really tricky. I have a cat meowing because he thinks he wants his dinner. Let me see if that's about right. Okay. All right. So at the moment, we've just got a triangle because I wanted to use my triangles. We've got a leaf. We've got some beautiful paper. I'm just deciding. I think we need a greeting across the bottom here. Let's see if there's anything in the Love of Leaves set that would be nice. We have a hello, which we could put off to one side, or hope changes everything, which would go right across. I thought of you today. Thank you. I'm so glad you're in my life. Any of these? Anyone excited about any of those? Or think that it might work for a sympathy card. It's something a little different. I'm not sure. It's not my regular type of card, but I think, yes, black cardstock sometimes can be tricky, Megan. And the same when you'll notice sometimes when you're using your trimmer, you get a bit of a fuzzy edge on your black cardstock, and quite often people think it's their trimmer blades, but it's not. It's the cardstock. The cardstock itself is very soft, so that would be why. Tegan is a puppy. Is that right, Margaret? Is that correct? Would you use that for a sympathy card? What do you think? Oh, really, Cherie? I'd ring head office about that. Ring DS about your plates. They'll fix that for you. Definitely. It is like a city high-rise. I know the one you mean. It's it looks on a piece of paper though. It's actually really pretty. Where is it? You mean this one here? The one at the bottom. It doesn't actually cut this one. All right. It actually just does stitch lines going up. So, for example, if I was to put it on here, it would not cut my copper. It would simply leave stitched lots and lots of stitch lines. It's like it's a pretty I don't know, it's kind of a feature, but it doesn't actually serve a purpose. It's just pretty. It's just decoration. So you had to get the machine replaced. That says to me there's something wrong. Definitely. Oh, I know. Cats are too smart for their own good. They still know what to do. My cat, his body clock is absolutely fine. And the thing is, though, we have 3 other people in the house. Right now, there's only 2 other people in the house. But even when we're all here, guess who they ask for food? They don't ask anybody else. They come here. They think I need to do it. Well, my big cat does anyway. The little guy is not as food obsessed. All right, so let's put that back in. It's an interesting die, that one, because it doesn't cut, it just embosses. Very, very pretty. Actually, give me 1 second. Emma, I'm halfway through a live. Would you mind grabbing Merlo? He wants to be fed.
Certainly.
Thank you. It's 7:56 and he knows.
Come on, bud.
Thank you. Mothering Sunday. I don't know about that, Denise. I just know that the cats think that I'm the only one that can feed them, and I don't know why. But anyway, he's been taken out now. Yeah, that's a good idea, Jean. Maybe I think that sometimes foiling and those kind of specialty papers do lend themselves quite well to sympathy cards. I think they do. That's right, Jean. I am. I'm the mum, and they know it. All right. I'm thinking there's a couple of, if we're going to make this into a sympathy card, we have a couple of really nice sympathy sets. I'm just looking for something really appropriate. And I'm thinking of something that maybe is retiring. Let me see. Now we're going to use retiring products, right? See, heartfelt love and caring thoughts are with you. That's nice. Maybe just a thinking of you, because I think something longer is better in this one. And that's the Quiet Meta set, but that's not retiring. Okay, that one. Yeah, it is elegant. You're right. What else have we got that would work that's retiring that I've got? It could be a get well card too. That would work. I don't have any of those. I do have this Always Thinking of You. Very Versailles, this beautiful, beautiful set. I have done so many things with this, but not lately. But gee, it's a beautiful stamp set and it is gorgeous. That has an Always Thinking of You. How about that one? That would be nice, I think. Very Versailles. Where is it? Just grabbing it out of my collection. Actually, I haven't seen that for a while. I'll tell you what else is going, which I was has been around for years, is the beautiful Freezer Bird. That one's going. Anyone sad about that? I'm wondering if Very Versailles is here. I'm just thinking I have not seen that in a long, long time. You know what? I don't think it is. I'm wondering if I lent it to somebody. Well, you know what? In the absence of the perfect stamp, maybe I'll do this one and come back to it. What do you think? Copper emboss the sentiment. You know what? That would be nice on black. That would be really, really nice. That's a good idea. Excellent idea. And now I'm wondering what's happened to my Very Versailles set. I might have to have a look down behind the stamp cupboard, because sometimes things get down in places that they shouldn't. Maybe it's fallen behind. The cookie set, this one here, this is not retiring. It's not going anywhere. And there's the beautiful birds we were just talking about. So many lovely sets that are actually leaving us this time. But Shaded Summer is not retiring, that's staying. I have this has got So Sorry for Your Loss. My Thoughts Are With You, which is a beautiful set. This is retiring, but I'm after a longer sentiment, and this does not have any of those. So I'm going to have a little think, and you'll see me put something up a little later. I think that might be the go, rather than trying to find something now, because I feel like it needs the right sentiment. What do you think? A word die. Yes, we could, from the copper. If I was going to do like something from the amazing Thanks dies, which are really, really lovely, that would be a great one, because they're nice words. It has the word, but it also has the piece that goes behind the word. Let me just see if I've got one of those. Okay, so this is a card I did recently, and see what I mean. It's got the amazing, and behind that I've actually cut out two. So I cut out the blue foil, and then I cut out the larger die behind, which is like the shadow behind the words. That would look really nice on here, black with the copper on top. What do you think? Let me find the right word die, and I'm going to come back to that one. We're going to come back and do that. Okay. And I just didn't feel like any of these particular sentiments were what I'm looking for at the moment. Yeah, a matting layer, that's what it would call. That's probably better than shadow. The shadow layer, yes. I think that's nice. Anyway, all right, let me see. What else have we got here that we can have some fun with? I have got a piece of Pool Party cardstock, which I've cut lengthways half of my A4 sheet is being cut lengthwise, and I'm going to fold this in half, and we're going to make a that folds the other way. I'm just going to grab my, and I've been having a little bit of fun with these. Now, do you remember a week or two ago we were playing with the Seascape set, but the Seascape set, I didn't have the dies to go with it. Well, I have now got the dies, and then I found out last Thursday that the dies are retiring. So I really need to use them, don't you think? So I was sort of mucking around with the dies. They're really rather nice. They're called Sea Life dies. Looking at your question, Lynn, anyone else wish they would bring back the single embossing powders instead of in a pack? Yeah, in a way I do. But I would probably, at least they're all basics. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can never have too much white or clear. They're probably the colors I use the most, white and clear. And then I do also use my metallics. So I agree. But clear is the one I use the most because you can use it on everything. And you can use it to color, to emboss all different colors. You can do so much with it. Oh, that's okay. That sounds good, Nairi. Your 2-year-old granddaughter, is she gorgeous? I bet she is. That sounds lovely. Let me think. I do wonder why they've brought them out in a mixed pack. I wonder if they weren't selling well in single packs, maybe. I don't know. But the bird has been so versatile. Which bird were we talking about? Do you mean the Free as a Bird set? Is that the one you mean? Oh, anyway, I have got the Seascape stuff now. And let me grab it out for you. I just had it before. This one, can you believe this has been around for years and it's retiring? Finally retiring. Hard to believe after all this time. Does anyone have any requests tonight? Does anyone have anything they particularly would like me to do? I know what you mean, Lynn. When you only want one colour, it is frustrating. Ah, look what I found. There it is. Ta-da! Very Versailles. Can you believe it's retiring? Such a beautiful stamp set. Very sad. I feel sad about that. Okay. Which set were you after? A scene card, says Jenny. Well, really? You want me to do another scene card? I seem to be doing those a lot lately and I can't stop myself. It's just too hard to stay away from the scene cards. I'm thinking maybe I'm going to play with this. Let's go. All right. This stamp is absolutely beautiful. It's like a scripty, scrolly kind of a stamp, and I do love a good script background. So let's pop that on a block. It needs block E. That's the only one the right size for that. And the other one that is in here, and it also needs block E, is these beautiful beautiful leaves. These here. So this is kind of going to fill your need for a scene card, Jenny, because you can create something quite a beautiful build-up of it's kind of like putting a group of objects together, ephemera kind of a thing. And I was going to do it on that, but now that I've changed my mind, I'm going to go over to more of a neutral color. So I'm thinking maybe Sahara Sand. Something I'm excited about that's coming in the new catalogue is some Sahara Sand ribbon. And we haven't had a Sahara Sand ribbon in a really long time, and I'm very excited about that. That's beautiful. So I'm just going to cut a card front. And let's go with this. Now I'm going to keep the background, the scripty scrolly stamp, quite light. So I'm actually going to go with the same color, tone on tone. We're going to go with Sahara Sand. Yes, I agree. I think that's what's happened as well, Jean. Sitting too long on the shelves. and they need to move them faster, and the way to do that is to sell them in a pack. So while it's frustrating for us, it's probably solving a business problem for them. Oceanfront, yes, I know. I can't get enough of the Oceanfront. I've been using it a lot lately. All right, let's see how dark this is. Well, that's actually not too bad. I want it to be not overwhelming. And I'm also going to do it again. And I'm going to do kind of like so. Now this beautiful, 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 which color? I think Mossy Meadow, one of my favorite greens. You'll have to do your own now, Jenny. I'm so sorry. Right, now this looks like it's quite wet because I've recently re-inked it. So let me see how dark. Yeah, it's quite dark. So I've stamped that off, and I'm going to come down here and do a second generation stamp because I think it was too dark at the beginning. Isn't that a beautiful stamp? It always just looks lovely. Or every single time. I've not ever been, never have I not been happy with it. All right. All right, let's try this little guy. I'm deciding. So the Sahara Sand has got, it's a neutral with a green base. Okay, so it lends itself, it works very well with greens, but it also can work with like browns. So I'm thinking maybe soft suede. And soft suede is a really great color if ever you want to make something look a little bit antique. Let's see whether this needs to be stamped off. I don't think it does, but let me try. Maybe. Let's try full strength. And which way will I go? I think I shall go this way. Cookie's now decided he's going to have a whistle. All right. And you can see this is just very, very simple stamping. There's not a lot to it. You can cut things out and add them, but you don't need to. It's just such a beautiful stamp set. And I will miss it. So it's fun to play with it again. Now I'm deciding which colour. I'm going to go into the soft suede again. Actually, will I or won't I? Mossy Meadow. Maybe Mossy Meadow. I'm going to stamp it off. And we're just being very ad hoc with how this looks. But you can see it doesn't take much. Oh, you should be able to unpress it again. And thanks for, angry faces are bad. It's probably not so bad in a private group, but when you use, if you have someone who's doing live videos and they're getting lots and lots of angry faces, that's something that Facebook can take notice of and then make sure they're seen by less people. So we don't want angry faces. He is chatty tonight. I know, right? Crumb cake is another good color too, but crumb cake is more of a beige, more towards a brown, whereas Sahara Sand is more towards a green. When you put them all together, it's quite obvious when you look at them. Now I feel like I know what it needs. It needs a little bit of embossing, and it also needs a little bit of something else. Anyone want to guess what that might be? I'm going to get my mat out. That's my first clue. And I'm going to grab a little bit of glue, and I'm just going to add a little bit here and there. Anyone remember what I did this recently as well? Let me grab my tin of gold foil. Now I'm just going to push a little bit of that so it's not, I've got adhesive on there, but it's it's sticky, but it's not everywhere. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over this, and we're going to add a little bit here and there. And our gold foil is going to stick to any bits of glue that it finds. So basically, gold foil is one of those awesome things that's fun to play with because it will stick very nicely to all of your sticky stuff. So here we go. We're really getting into the metallics tonight, aren't we? So we've used metallic paper and we used some foil at the start. Now I'm wondering if I should add a little bit more, or do you think that's enough? What do we think? Maybe just a tiny bit more? I'm using the squishy end of my Tombow. I'm just going to sort of spread a little bit with my finger. And then I'm going to come in with my bits of gold leaf. And it's definitely going to add a little bit more this time. So you can add as much or as little of this as you like. You know, obviously the more you add, the more dramatic it is. So you can have it very subtle or you can have it very dramatic. All right, so it's sort of starting to look a little bit antique-y, which I think is what this set lends it to. Tiny bit more. Yeah, more, right? All right. Okay, so I'm deciding I think maybe I'm just looking at, we've got an Always Thinking of You here. This is the one I was talking about before. I've used nearly every stamp. The only ones I haven't used is the Have a Beautiful Day or the Thank You. I'm going to use everything else though. And let's put this Always Thinking of You onto our block here. And I'm going to grab this piece of black that we had out before when we cut our triangle. And I'm going to ink this up in Versamark. And we're going to stamp that out. Better cover up, close up this and close up this. I don't want more angry faces. And then I'll go to my embossing drawer, which is right by my desk. And we're just going to get ourselves some gold. Actually, gold or, yes, I think gold. Because it'll go with our gold leaf. Okay, so I've got some gold powder there. And I'm just having a look to see. I normally have a container right here by my desk for this purpose. Oh, here we go. Found it. And then I'm going to, it's starting to rain again. Mind you, it barely has stopped all day. What's with all the rain, guys? Does anyone know? Okay. Just going to flick over the back of that as well to get off any excess powder. And if there is a little bit more, I always keep brushes at my desk to get rid of any excess. That's not looking too bad. Now we get to do the fun bit, which is where we're going to use our heat tool. Whoop, I better before I use the heat tool, I don't want to blow everything all over the place here. We want to the lid back on. And let's emboss. This is where our silicone mat is really handy. Here we go. Okay, now let's see. I'm just going to bring in my trimmer and let's see how that's an inch. So let's see if an inch works for us. I think it does. It might be a little, yeah, actually I'm going to make a little narrower. Try 3/4. Yep, that's going to be fine. 3/4 is good. That's pretty close to where I want to be. You know what? It's not 100% straight, which kind of is going to bother me. I know it is. Here I have my Pick-a-Banner punch. This might be too close to the edge for me to do this, but let's see. So this is going to fit into the 3/4 inch. Let's take it. It's all right. I'm just going to do the same on the other end. Whoop. This punch, by the way, is not retiring. There we go. So I'm deciding whether I want to go above or below. I think maybe above. Do you guys think? Is that looking nice? The stamp, I stamped the words with Versamark ink and then I embossed it with gold embossing powder, and it's this Always Thinking of You stamp from the Very Versailles set. Cheryl, this is one of Courtney's favorite sets. I haven't spoken to her since they announced it was retiring, and I'm not sure if she's completely devastated or if she's ready for it to move on. I actually don't know. So I'm just going to use the black dimensionals. Here they are, seeing as it's black paper. Above looks good, you think, Jean? Yeah, I think maybe right about there. So this little bit just pops out from underneath. And I did think about doing this in chocolate brown because I think that would have gone as well. But hey, we've got black, so that's what we're using. Let me cut a piece. So this is going to be 10 centimeters wide. This is my card front. So I might need to trim my other bit to fit inside, but let's see. No, it's perfect. There we go. So let's pop that on here. It's a really great stamp set because every time I use it, I find that it just, I don't know, it looks different every time, but you get this great vintage effect. And vintage is it's a style that I really enjoy creating. Isn't this beautiful? You got a heat gun yesterday. Oh, how exciting. Heat guns are fantastic. You know, once upon a time we used to all use toasters, but now we use heat guns. Remember, I have 2 heat guns. I have one that predates my Stampin' Up one. I got the Stampin' Up one and I really love it because it's got that protective end on it So you've got this protective end, so you don't less likely to burn yourself. And it's got 2 speeds, and it's a good price. It's $50, so it's a really good little tool, and all your embossing can be done with that. So it's fantastic. Stampin' Up have had a good quality embossing heat embossing tool for a long time. All right. Here we go. Let's just position that on there. The only thing I think it's missing now probably is a little bit of bling, as in, I mean, I could use Evening Evergreen. That would actually work, even though this is I was gonna throw on some gilded gems. Guys, my beloved gold gilded gems are retiring. Oh my goodness, whatever shall I do? But in the meantime, I'm gonna use these Evening Evergreen ones, because they're going to look really rather beautiful on here, because they have, you could also use the pale papaya because they look gold. So that would look nice as well. All right, let me add one of those here. And even though it's Evening Evergreen, it goes quite well here with the mossy meadow. There we go. And I think that that bit of gold leaf looks really rather special on there. It's very have you never heard of using the toaster, Subu? I never had to do it myself because I had a heat gun quite early on, but I do know quite a lot of people that used to use the toaster. So I have a friend, actually a demonstrator friend now, that back before she had a heat tool. So the only way her toaster worked was actually if there was toast in it. You had to have the piece of toast in the machine for it to go down. So she put in a piece of toast and then used the other unused hole in the toaster. The heat coming off the top of that, she'd hold it to emboss her embossing powder over the other one. It's open to all kinds of problems because you can drop your embossing powder down into the machine and all sorts of. You used to use the toaster, Rose. Yeah, a lot of people use the toaster. When do you use the toaster? There you go. But yes, a heat tool is much more efficient. So what did we get tonight? We have got a slightly unfinished card here, this one, okay, which I'm going to go and find a fantastic stamp to go with. Maybe I should just use this one again. But no, I think when I see the right stamp for this, I will know what it is. But they're the 2 cards that we've come up with tonight. So they're quite different, aren't they? They're very, this is really different. I don't know what quite possessed me to do that, but I wanted to do something with the triangles. And of course it was fun to use those gorgeous stitch leaves. Love, love, love those. And I've never used them together before, but anyway, that's what we ended up with. And I think it looks good and very Versailles. I mean, you can't go wrong with that one. That's one of those easy to use stamp sets that just always looks good no matter what you do. And I'll tell you what is a really nice combination that I've done lots of times with that set is Crumb Cake and Blackberry Bliss. Really, really nice combo. And then a bit of Merlot, Merry Merlot. No, not Merry Merlot. What am I saying? Mossy Meadow over this corner here, like this, but with some blackberry as well. So there we go. All right. Well, give me a few minutes. I'll come up with a great sentiment for this. In the meantime, I will have these up probably within half an hour or so on social media. I hope everyone is well. You've had a fantastic weekend. I am going to go and watch another episode of my latest Netflix show, and I'm also going to crochet. I'm working on trying to get a few crocheted squares. I've done 72 squares so far. I'm working on, I think 80 might be the size of my blanket, but I'm still not 100% sure. I've just got to work it out. No, I haven't. I have not been to the Hall of Mirrors. I have been, I've been to France, but I haven't been to that part. I've only been, because we're on a Mediterranean cruise, so we've only been to some of the port sites. We haven't been elsewhere in France. So, and that was on a Stampin' Up trip, actually. Thank you. I'm glad you like them. Thank you for joining me tonight, people. And I will be back on Friday night, but do look out. I'm hoping to have another video up this week. We'll see how I go for time. And it depends on how much my tax I get done, but that's my big priority this week because I want that done behind me. You're very, very welcome. I'm glad you like the cards. I'm glad you could join us tonight, Jean. And yeah, look out for the daylight saving change, which I think is happening in, I'll have to, does anyone know when daylight saving is finishing here? Let me quickly look and see. When does daylight saving end? There you go. 3rd of April. So that's next weekend. We've only got 1 week left, and then it goes on to no more daylight saving from Sunday, so a week today, which is actually good because it's getting really, really dark in the mornings now when I get up early to take one of the kids to, if I take my daughter to work and she starts at 6:30, it's pitch black. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to the change of season. All right, people, have a fantastic week. Enjoy whatever it is you do with your time Monday to Friday, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.